Guys, here is the video review for the Real Deform Kamen Rider Fourze and Kamen Rider Gaim. Now, normally I would do these guys separately, but they both came together today. I picked them up both, and they came at the same time. And since they're very similar, I'm not gonna split them up because I feel like I'd be repeating a lot of myself. Now I'm not sure what the difference is. They're both by Banpresto. They're little SD figures. This one has an Ichiban Kuji logo in the corner. This one has Crane King. And I know that these are starting to become like little prizes in Crane games over there. This Fourze has a big C on the front here, which I'm not 100% certain on that, but I wonder if that means it was a prize in one of like the ticket giveaways that some stores do over in Japan. Now, they've done this for Transformers as well. If you're into Transformers and you remember, there were some animated little micro changes that you could only get as prizes in this thing, and like one of the big prizes was a crystal leader movie, like the Revenge of the Fallen leader Optimus Prime in like a clear crystal version, things like that, or translucent crystal version, because it was still red and blue, but it was the crystal see-through version. And I think this was the C prize in whatever campaign that was. I could be wrong, but that's what I believe is the case with this. But anyway, these are little, like I said, this one's a crane prize. And you can even see there's some perforations on the side, on each side of the box. You could punch this in to make, handles for the crane to grab it if you had the skill. So we're just going to compare them together. Now, you'll notice a difference in the size of the boxes. And with Fourze, you can see, here's Fourze, and he's got his rocket over here, and a couple little fists behind the window. And you're like, oh, great, window box, and you open it up. And once the box is open, and you pull the tray out, it's a little disappointing because that giant box, and literally what you see in the window is all you get in the tray. There's just a lot of empty space all around it, which is a little disappointing. By comparison, Gaim has a very small box, but when you open up his tray, he doesn't have many more accessories or any more accessories. He's got two fists and a weapon, but much less disappointing because it pretty much fills the space you've been given. You've pretty much seen just by that what these have to offer. We'll pop them out here. They have 30 points of articulation each, which is nice for little figures this size. These are not figure arts. Somebody asked me if these were the figure arts, and I'm like, no, these are Real Deform figures. But they are nicely posable. They've got kind of Revoltech joints, type joints, at least in the wrists. These are standard hinges here at the elbow, but the wrist has the bald tab, clicky Revoltech type joint. There's Fourze. We'll stand him up here. He's got a couple open hands, as well as his rocket module. Go ahead. See if we can't get this down a little bit closer onto the figures. There we go. I'm just going to pull off one open hand. The other one is exactly a mirror copy of this one for his right hand. And then Gaim here has the same type of situation. Now, Fourze had just a little piece of plastic behind him. Gaim actually comes in a little plastic sleeve, probably to protect the paint job. The paint job on this guy is just absolutely stunning. A nice metallic gold and silver all over him, and orange. And then even his visor has the orange texture behind it. Really, really nice paint job on this guy. I'll have him back here to stand up while I get the rest of his stuff out. And again, he's got two kind of open hands. He's got a closed fist, and he's got an open hand for the other side. And he also has his I know the name for it, and I can't think of it. I totally drawn a blank, but he's got his sword. Why can I not remember? With melon lockseed, whatever. So yeah. Now, and he can hold it in his hand. Unfortunately, he's got the little holster for it over here, but it doesn't actually. This doesn't pop off. It doesn't actually connect. It's just a separate weapon, but he can hold it in his hand. And again, they're just little cheapified figures. Again, they've got double ball joint in necks. There's a ball in the head as well as at the neck connection point, so they can move like that. Double ball jointed shoulders, swivel. You got a swivel here, a swivel at both sides of the elbow, and then a hinge elbow. Again, those little Revoltech balls at the wrists. Just ball joint hips. It does have two different torso joints here. Same thing at the knee as the elbow, and then again a Revoltech type joint at the ball joint at the foot. So you get some twisty goodness there. And again, the paint job on Fourze is really nice as well. And again, you can pop his fist off and attach the rocket module if you wish. Again, pretty much the same way the SHF does it. And you gotta fiddle to get him stable, but once he's stable, he'll stand. Like that. And then Gaim. Again, I love Gaim's design anyway, and even in the kind of super deformed style here, it's just really, really stunning. Like I said, they just really knocked it out of the park on the paint job. His pauldrons have a little bit of swivelness to them, so they can he can move his arms up and down and get in a lot of different poses without them interfering with anything. And he just looks awesome. I remember seeing pictures of him at a toy event, like right around the time the show started, maybe even before the show started, and I was like, when is that coming out? What is that? I don't know what that is. And he's finally out, and I'm really glad that I picked him up, because he is amazing. Like I said, the Fourze is nice too, and I liked that show, and so I wanted to have a couple of these guys. But Fourze definitely kind of like, I opened him first, because I figured Gaim was going to show him up, and sure enough, there is no contest. Like, Fourze is really nice, but this Gaim is amazing. And it's kind of sad that they don't seem to do more than one per show. I guess Double got Cyclone Joker, and then individual Cyclone and Joker. But I don't even know if any secondary riders have gotten them. I haven't seen them. I've seen Decade. I've seen who are some of the other ones I've seen? I've seen Deno. Double. There's an O's. There is a Wizard. Actually, the Wizard, the figure looks pretty nice. It looks like they did a nice paint job on him as well. So all the main riders are there, but there hasn't been like a Beast, to the best of my knowledge. I haven't seen any of the secondary riders, because I would love to have a Zangetsu in this style as well. But I will settle for this Gaim, because this Gaim really is just absolutely amazing. Really shiny, really neat. And fun to pose. Again, a lot of really good articulation for, tiny little 3.5, 4-inch figures. And Fourze, like I said, I like Fourze. He'll probably go somewhere on my shelf doing something silly. Gaim will probably travel with me for a while, just because I really like him. There's also some even smaller super deformed version figures, the 66 joints, which have I think just about the same number of joints as these guys, but are only about this big. They're not quite, the paint isn't as detailed or whatever. The first wave just came out. I think the first wave is O's, Gaim, Decade, and somebody else. Is it Deno? I can't remember who the fourth one is in that one. But then the second wave that comes out has, I'm going to love, because I think that one has Deno, Kabuto, Zangetsu, and Double, and Cyclone Joker. So, like, I want that, like, pretty much all that wave. I don't really care about Deno, but I already ordered Gaim from CS Toys, and I was hoping it would be here today, because it hit New York last night. But it looks like he's going to be here tomorrow, and I'll review him as well. But I want him, and I want Zangetsu, and I want Cyclone Joker, and I want Kabuto. So, yeah, I can't wait for that second wave to hit. And anything past that, I don't know if they've announced a third wave past that or not. But they're so small, and they come in waves, like 4 different ones each wave. They'll probably work their way through several of the various riders. And again, they're doing Zangetsu, so there's a good chance we'll see some of the secondary riders in that scale as well. But yeah, there is the Real Deform, Fourze, and Gaim. I don't know how deep into this line I'm really going to get. Again, they haven't really been doing it for that long. There's not a huge selection of riders available that I'm aware of. I would love to get a Cyclone Joker, but I have no idea where to find one. I keep seeing Cyclone and Joker, but not Cyclone Joker. So you can get the motorcycle. They made a motorcycle in this scale for Cyclone Joker. and you can get that for like $140 on eBay. But like, I'm not doing that. But I would love to have a Cyclone Joker. I have no idea where to find one. But yeah, there is Fourze and Gaim, real Deform figures.